Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about prop parenting and why you should use it, and more importantly I'm going to talk about sub-parenting and saving sub-parented props. So an example of parenting might be where you have a ball and you parent it to a hand, and then where the hand moves the ball moves. That's a really good example. Or in this case here we have a sword and it's parented to the right hand. So if I double click this, it will jump straight into the hand position. So now when I move the hand, the arm, the sword goes with it. So it's parented to that hand. Okay, now here's a slightly different situation. We have a scabbard here, and when I click it, it appears to be parented to the hip, but in actual fact it's parented to a body part or a part called strap. So if I show in Explorer here, it opens up Explorer, and now here's a program that everybody should own. It's Notepad++. It's for anybody who's serious about getting in under the hood of Poser. And if you look down here, you'll see that it has what's known as a smart parent, and you'll see it's smart parented to straps 1. Okay, but straps, there's no object in my scene called straps 1. Okay, so what does smart parenting do? Well, smart parenting parents one object to another object. So remember I said about the ball, I could save the ball so that any time I reloaded that ball into the scene, it would parent straight away to the hand, and wherever that hand position was, the ball would automatically go to that position. So really useful tool for anyone who's saving props. So in this case, the scabbard is parented to straps 1. There's no object called straps 1, but the position of straps 1 when it was parented was at the hip. So the sword automatically parents to the hip. Now, another way that this vendor could have parented this is just to parent it to the hip. Then it doesn't depend on you having had the other item of clothing. So if I were to save this item now, let me just parent that to the hip. So I'm just going to open up the hierarchy editor. We really must do a video on the hierarchy. If I open this up and scroll, okay, let me just close these clothing items down because they're extraneous. And you'll see here that the scabbard is not parented to anything in the scene. It's the parent of the universe, or parent of the universe. So even though it has a parent of straps 1, it actually, because that item is missing, it parents to universe. So here's an easy way to parent. Let's open Michael. We'll just collapse that down to keep it simple, and we're going to drag scabbard, hopefully, drag scabbard onto the hip. So now we've addressed that issue. That scabbard is now parented to the hip, but we've not saved it in any way that's going to be useful. So let me go down to our working directory and show you what happens. So if I go to save that, and we'll call it scabbard solo, when I click OK, it will automatically give me the option to save it as a smart prop. Okay, so if I say yes now, that will save parented. If I'd said no, it would have just saved as a standalone prop. And again, if we show that in Explorer, incidentally, this is a really good reason to never save your files compressed. So if we open this in Notepad++, and just do a quick search on parent, smart parent, hip 1. Okay, so we know now that when we reload that, it's going to load straight onto the hip. Very useful. Okay, but now I want to show you a real problem with this. Okay, I'm going to leave that tutorial window open. So now let's go back to our Spartan, and now we're going to load a sheathed sword. So the sword is sheathed to the scabbard. Sheathed is parented, to the scabbard. So the sword obviously is going to have a line in there, smart parent scabbard, and the scabbard now has a line in there, parent to hip. So now if I save this scabbard, you might think that the logical thing would be that it saves any subparts, but look what happens. If I go to do scabbard and sword, I'm not going to select subset. It has a parent, so it's going to do the same thing. It's going to do a smart parent to the hip. Let's delete these now so that you can see. Delete scabbards. Okay, come on, let me choose. There we go. Delete the sword. Okay, so now we've got scabbard and sword, and look what happens. Double click to load them into the scene. Only the scabbard loads. That's a real pain, okay? So there's another way we could have done that. Wow, come on, let me choose. There we go, okay. I thought I had a fast PC, but apparently I don't. Okay, so let's, I didn't need to delete that. Let me just go back in and load them into the scene by doing undo. There we go. So we're back to where we were. So the scabbard is parented to the, let's quickly open the hierarchy window and show you there. So you'll see here the hip. The scabbard is the parent of the hip. In this case, the sword is actually parent as become a child of the hip as well. That's probably to do with the undo. Okay, so now the alternative here would be, I've got the scabbard selected. If I save that again, scabbard sword 2. So you might think, okay, well the way around that is to do a subset. So we select both objects that we want to export. So we do scabbard and sword. Save that. Delete these two. Wow, it takes so long to give me control again after deleting an object. Okay, so we've got scabbard and sword 2. So we saved, we selected both of those to export. Now we bring them back into the scene. Wow, that's embedded into there. Why is that? Well, let's have a look at the scabbard and sword 2. Let's have a look at the PP2 here. Edit in Notepad++. Do a search for parent universe. So the scabbard is not parented to the figure. So that's a real nuisance. Okay, here's how you get past that. So, oh, should have, gosh, I'm an idiot. Okay. I'm going to open that again. Sorry, guys, not very professional. So all we do is change parent universe to smart parent hip : 1. And now save that. Get rid of scabbard. I need a new PC. Wow. Get rid of sword. And all being equal, scabbard and sword 2 should now parent to the hip. Which it hasn't. Okay, and that's, oh, no, because I didn't reposition it. Okay. So that's a really good point there. The position that the object, it doesn't matter what it's the parent of, the position when you save it is the position it will enter the world. So let me just go over to here, put that scabbard back on the hip-ish, save it again. So we'll call that scabbard and sword 3. Scabbard sword 3. Oh no, we'll call that positioned. Positioned, so it's clear what we're doing. Select the subset, so we're going to be sure that we get both the scabbard and the sword, but they won't be parented to the hip. Save that. Go into our text file, positioned. Edit this PP file. Search for parent. Parent universe. No. Parent hip 1. Smart parent. Smart. Very important there to get the spelling. It doesn't have the sense to recognise that you meant smart parent if you put too many T's in. So syntax and spelling is absolutely vital in POSA PP2s or CR2s or any of that kind of stuff. So save that back in. Fingers crossed. Now when we do that, positioned. Okay, let's get rid of that again. And that, okay, we'll do it this way again. Wow, why can't I see the prop there? Because the prop is a child of the character. So what I need to do is, see that was, I was searching for children of shirt NK. So now if I select Michael, you'll see that the prop children of him, sword. So now if I do scabbard and sword positioned, hopefully this is the file. Let's have a look. Yep, positioned. And with any luck, there you are. So they've both loaded into the scene, positioned. And if we go into the hierarchy window, with any luck there, you'll see that they are now parented to the hip. So hopefully that's useful to you guys. You can use that multiple levels as well. So if you when you come to save your props, just select all the subsets and then you go into the PP2 file and edit the root parent. That's the highest level parent there. So let's go back into Notepad++. So you just do a quick search there. The highest level parent here. And you change that to smart parent, not parent. Change it from universe, and then you put the body part in there. I'll upload a list of body parts possibly on the end of this video. It doesn't have to be a body part, by the way. It could be another prop. It could be some world component. Could be a light, for example. So you know, you can be as creative as you like in your smart parenting. Any object can be parented to any other object. Hey guys, I put this video to bed and then I thought of one more thing that I'd like to show you here, and that's how to save two props parented to the same object. So if I save this object parented to this, it's fine as a smart prop. If I parent this to this, then save this as a parent as a smart object, it's fine. But the trouble is, if I want them both to be children of the hand, then it becomes a little bit more difficult. Now, why would I want to do that? Because movement in parenting is relative. So if I parent this one to the hand, then supposing I say up and down relative to the hand is in this direction. Horizontally normally, not in the normal Y direction. Then I parent this one to this one, and the movement again is relative to this object. So now I've got two lots of translated movement to try and work out. This translates through this and this translates through that, and it can get really, really complicated. So it could just be that I want them all to parent to a single object. Perhaps this guy's juggling or something. Okay, so here's how we're going to go about doing that. So first of all, let me open up a window that we can see what's going on. Here we go. So we're going to save props again, but we're going to do it differently this time. So first of all, actually, let me just show you the hierarchy window. So here's the hierarchy. You can see They're both parents of the hand, so they're one level down from hand, which means they're, sorry, not parents of it, children of the hand. So ball 1 and ball 2 are both children of right hand. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save them both individually. So first of all, I'm going to save this one. What object is this? This is ball 1. So I'm going to do ball 1, and it will automatically ask me if I want to save it as a smart prop, so I say yes. Then I'm going to save ball 2, and again it will ask me if I want to save it as a smart prop. And now here's where the magic happens. So I'm going to right click, show in Explorer. So here's the files for that. So we're interested in the pp2 or prop files. So I'm going to open ball 1 in Notepad++. Then I'm going to, oh, excuse me. I'm going to open ball 2. I'm not very smooth at this, am I, guys? I'm sure I'd be a lot quicker if I was more on the ball here. So now we've got ball 2 and ball 1, both a text file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy almost everything from ball 2. So here's the bits that we don't need. So when you're working out what to copy and what not to copy, I'm basically, well, I'll just show you what I'm going to copy. I'm going to copy the bit that defines the prop, and then everything after it defines its relative position and its parameters. And then I'm going to copy down. So add actor, and then there's a close bracket there that means that's the end of the statement. So I'm going to do Control C to copy that. And now I'm going to put it in at the end here. So there's the close statement here that closes the statement for actor ball 1. I'm going to go to a new line, just paste that in, so now it finishes off with add actor ball 2, and save that. And now let me just delete this. Yes, I do want to delete that. So we saved everything modified in ball 1. Now, obviously, if I was doing this for distribution or something that I wanted to use regularly, I would have named ball 1 something a bit more useful, like combined balls or something like that, or juggling balls. So now, if I double click these, so making sure that Michael's selected, not his clothing, and you'll see now that they both jump into the right place. And just to prove that it's working, if I select his arm here and move it up and down, and you'll see now that they're both moving relative to that arm. And I can just show you there in the hierarchy window, which is this one. Sorry, I'm using the user interface quick buttons here. I said the hierarchy window. Give me the hierarchy window. Okay, it's there, but it's for some reason it's got confused. There we go. And you can see now that they're both parented to right hand. So that's a really great way. I'm holding up my finger. I'm gesturing emphatically, and you can't see. What an idiot. That's a really great way of doing a multi-parent to a single object. So earlier on we did the parent of one to the other. And now we've got two objects parented to a single root object. Now, before I go, I'm just going to give you a little thought on how I work out where to put that. I'm going to delete that. Right, so when you're looking at code like this, I'm not a code expert. I'm certain that that others out there would give me a lesson in this. You've got open brackets and close brackets. So open brackets are the start of it. It's a bit like HTML, I believe it is. Open bracket means the start of something. A closed bracket means the end of something. So we've got one open bracket and it tells you the version number. Another open bracket tells you the actual number. So that's a subset of this one. Then it closes that version number here, but the first open bracket is still in effect. So the first open bracket then has the prop ball, and then all of this is defined with a prop ball. There's another open bracket, closes that one, another open bracket down the bottom somewhere closes. But then at the end, packaging it all up, there's actor ball, and then there's a close bracket that closes all of this guff defining the ball, and then immediately after is where you've got space to put something else before the final close bracket, which closes the entire the entire file, as it were. So that's how I work it out. It doesn't always work out perfectly, but that seems to be a fairly good way of combining things into a single file, copy and pasting. So I'm just going to close out. I'm not going to save it because it's already saved. Now we're going to use that in a coming video. I'm going to show you how to create eyebrows as props and how to transfer them from DAZ Studio into Poser. So this technique here is going to become very, very important. So for now, I hope that you found that extra little bit useful, and I will speak to you again soon.